There we go.
Burp.
Hmm. The fuck is this? Bah. Right then. Okay, right. Just so I can sync myself in. Right. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it is Gaz from 4Gaming Apocalypse here, back again with the post E3 conference debate talk thing with friends. I'm joined by Albert, who is there watching the EA conference with me, and he's in that video. I'm here with Straws.
Hello.
And I'm also here with and Emmy, who you guys watched the Microsoft conference with us today.
Hello.
So, I mean, admittedly, Albert, you're alright. You're not a big fan of Xbox, are you, Albert?
Not really.
No, Straws. What about you?
No.
Emmy?
I have never owned an Xbox. I really like the 360 controller. That's about it.
All right. Okay. So this is going to be hopefully not biased. Hopefully. Right. I've now got Windows 10. I have an Xbox 360, and I played the Xbox originally. So, I can see from okay, I'm probably going to get an Xbox One, so I can at least talk from it from that kind of point of view. But we had a lot happen during the conference today. There was a lot of rumors flying around about a new console, about that kind of thing, and they decided saying, yeah, it's happening. So this was a leak that came out yesterday. It was the fact that the Xbox One will have a slimmer version being released, just jumping straight into it, which is 40% smaller, holds up to 2 terabytes of hard drive space, and would be released. And it was in the picture that was in white, and it looks like it came from the official Xbox site. This was confirmed to be true. The Xbox One S is a thing. It's coming out in August of this year, of 2016. It will be 40% smaller. It will go up to 2 terabytes. There'll be different packages. It will. There will be no power block for it, no external power block for it, which is already kind of a big deal. But that means it's very portable. It will come with a new style of controller, a new generation of controller, and will start from $300 US. So from people, Albert, you were there from the start. Straws, you were there from the start at least. What do you think about this?
I mean, when they're like, oh, we're doing a new slim Xbox, I couldn't be any less hyped because whoopee, fucking, I'm not going to buy one anyway. But it turns out it's actually really, really cheap compared to the actual Xbox One starting price.
Yeah.
The original
up to 2
Xbox,
terabytes is fucking nice.
The Xbox One starting price was $500 US.
Yeah, also Xbox One is like Xbox Huge, and that's a pretty reasonably sized console, being like half the size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, very close to half.
I'm not going to buy an Xbox, but I would buy a Slim sooner than I would buy
a normal one. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up buying a Slim when they come out, mainly because we've found out what the pricing is for this. This wasn't mentioned during the conference. This was found out other side. We've got the 500 gigabyte console, which will start at $300 US. The 1 terabyte will go for $350, and the 2 terabyte will go for $400, which is still already a big drop.
That's
huge
kind of annoying though, because they were just like, oh, it goes up to 200 terabytes and it's $299 US. That's what I was expecting. Way to unsell me.
Yeah, it kind of unsells it a little bit, but the fact that they're still doing a smaller console in itself, which is already a cheaper point of entry. I mean, a 500 gig console is fine because of the fact that they all work with external hard drives. So you can get the cheap console for 500 gig,
nice.
and then just plug it in external and save all your data on there.
Is it going to be like fully transferable over, or is it going to be like, oh no, this one can't go over? That's the issue. Like when you get like, oh no, this bit can't. Oh no, this bit can't.
It's game saves and game install data. So not system updates. System updates stay on the drive, but game updates and game data will be able to be transferred off the console, which is actually pretty cool because the fact that if, for example, you have multiple Xboxes The saves will work on Windows 10 from what I hear, because the fact that they're pretty much cross-compatible. If you have a Windows 10, the game will then work on Windows 10, and you will be able to pick up your save data either through the cloud or through your save, which is pretty tits. And that kind of leads into something else that we'll talk about in a bit. But in my, to be honest, it's a very good move for them as a company to bring out a cheaper version of their main product at this point, so that more people can get into it. They bring out a new controller and make it kind of exclusive in a sense, make it slightly more powerful, which they've said it is more powerful. I think it can support 4K, this one, but then the main other one will also be maximum 4K dedicated. So the fact that this has come out it's going to be coming out in August, not close to Christmas. So it's going to be coming out, it's got between August and Christmas to really kind of get itself out there, which hopefully means that they won't be running out of stock. So from a business point of view, it's a very good thing. And for me as a consumer, and who's probably going to buy an Xbox One, I'll probably buy one of these. And I can easily get an external hard drive, a 2 terabyte one, for quite cheap, and just use that, leave it plugged in. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, you kind of get around the price tag at that point. And then you've got all the other, and then the whole games coming out and everything. A little disappointing on the game side. And the main reason I say that is that the games, a lot of them say, oh, they're coming 2017. Which is kind of annoying.
There were a couple of fairly early ones.
There was a couple of ones that are coming either at the beginning of 2017, the end of 2016, or just 2017 in brackets.
Yeah.
So, we'll go through those one by one, because the first thing they showed off was Gears of War 4. Me, I personally love Gears. I've played all the Gears games. I didn't like Judgment, which was the spin-off one. I didn't really like it that much. The main franchise, though, I did enjoy. And it just, again, it was just Gears. It was more Gears, more brown, more shooty. Had a look at some of the other some of the main characters. Not really much on the story. You saw a little bit of the new enemies. The Swarm, I think they call it, not the Locust this time. But they're basically the same fucking thing. The problem is with that, right, what came out of that was something that was kind of interesting though. Gears 4, at least during the conference, was one of the first things to show off the Xbox Anywhere program, which is what they called it. Which means that if you have a game on Xbox One, you can, if you buy it for Xbox One, you've bought it for Windows. And I think that's kind of a big deal, in my opinion, because there's a lot of games that if you can buy on an Xbox on the storefront, it will just transfer across without a problem. So I think, at least from the consumer kind of point of view, for example, someone who actually does have a Windows 10 PC, or that can support gaming, that kind of thing, being able to buy being able to buy Gears or any of the other games coming out and be able to play them on your PC without an issue, that's pretty handy, to be honest. And I think it was every single game that they had in the showcase today said, oh, you can play it on Windows 10. I mean, Alb, you have Windows 10. I'd love to know your opinion on this.
Do you have Windows 10?
So, I think that kind of helps the fact that you don't necessarily even have to buy it on Xbox.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like not having to have an Xbox for pretty much all of Xbox's new releases. I'm pretty fucking pleased as punch with that. Gears specifically, I'm probably not going to buy into because there's nothing in there for somebody who's new to the series.
Yeah, for someone such as yourself.
Yeah, I played a little bit of some of the older Gears, never really got into the story, and the gameplay looks the fucking same as all the other Gears. So maybe I'll play it for co-op fun if it ever happens to fall into my lap in a Humble Bundle or on
something like
G2A,
that, yeah.
something really cheap. Yeah, if it's going for 15 quid and everyone's like, oh, we should fucking do a Gears playthrough co-op, sure, maybe.
They've kind of done that with the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which was Gears 1, 2, and 3, which is available on Windows 10 on the marketplace, and sometimes they have sales on that. But again, whether it'll be able to get through G2A or be able to get it through any other online retailer, that kind of thing, that's up to fate.
Yeah.
Emmy, do you have Windows 10?
I do have Windows 10.
What do you think about potentially being able to play Xbox One games without owning the Xbox One?
Well, as that's the case, it will probably mean that I won't buy an Xbox One. The fact, I'm more than happy with my PC, and if I can play all those games on here and be able to like play co-op multiplayer with anyone else who's playing the game, then I'd happily just keep playing it on my PC on Windows 10. So
that's a good point. Haven't Microsoft sort of, without like just going by what they've said just there, without sort of inferring anything else for yourself, haven't they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit?
I think
what reason do I have to get an Xbox?
Console exclusives.
What
Because
console
Final
exclusive?
Fantasy,
but from E3
Final
though,
Fantasy
the majority
15.
of them all were for Windows 10 and Xbox One exclusive. It
Some
wasn't.
of them, some of them said Final Fantasy 15.
Oh,
Is that the only one?
that actually looked good, though.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves, maybe, I don't know.
No, Sea of Thieves had Windows 10.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
So some of them said, some of the ones in the thing say, oh, we'll only be on Xbox. So take from that what you will. It will probably. We don't even know what's going to happen until they get released. It's like, oh, I can't buy it on Windows 10.
Yeah, it could even be a case of if you want to cross-play, you have to have Windows Live.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Xbox Live,
But on the other hand,
But
Final
then
Fantasy
you're still
15
saving the
comes
money
to
there. Like if you're
PlayStation
gonna
4.
play online, then you can just buy it. Like if you're gonna have a subscription to Xbox Live or whatever, that you still don't have to buy the Xbox One.
Yeah. I mean, with the thing is, if you've got Windows 10, you don't need Xbox Live Gold in order to play the games online, obviously. It's only if you have an Xbox One. And this kind of leads into, like, it comes down again to the consoles versus the PC. People who want to play on a PC will have a gaming rig. People who don't really want to bother, they just want to have, right, I've got an Xbox now, plug it into my TV, sit on the sofa in my pants, that kind of thing. They will play on a console. Having the middle ground, on the other hand, is very tricky because the fact that what Microsoft are trying to do with Windows is that they're putting Windows 10 on the Xbox One, and people who don't have Windows 10 yet, or have got PC, they're like, actually, we want to bring the PC market back into it because we're Microsoft, we make Windows. We want to bring those guys back in and still keep the console peasants happy. This is coming, like, that would be from what a PC master race person. They want to be able to keep the console market happy, as well as incorporating the PC into the mix, which you've got to commend them for that because that's a big challenge to do. So, like, being able to do something like that is, I would say, pretty cool. But again, Albert, I do kind of agree with you. They've potentially shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it depends what they do with it. They might be surreptitiously planning to say, no, you have to have Xbox Live to do this.
You need like a specific thing.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those things that you might not be able to buy it on PC. You have to buy it on console and then activate it on PC. So.
Yeah, I mean, all of us actually being PC gamers, it's kind of actually just sort of our bias in saying that they've shot themselves in the foot. They do have quite a decent community of people who just play on Xbox.
Yeah, they've got a really big community on Xbox.
Yeah,
so you know,
they probably haven't shot themselves that much, to be honest.
Well, again, it's something we'll see. We'll see about it. That's coming out October 11th, so it's very, very close. There was stuff about Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct, I haven't played. I want to play it because I like fighting games, and apparently it's one of the really good fighting games out there. They added General Ram in there from Gears of War 1 as a playable fighter. They had the Arbiter in there before, and one of the guys from Battletoads. Not really many people cared about that, in my opinion.
Was that a new Killer Instinct they were advertising?
No. Killer Instinct's already out.
Literally just the slot in E3 for saying, oh look, we've got a Gears character in Killer Instinct.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Killer Instinct is already out. They're currently in their Season 3 of DLC, and their Season 3 of tournaments. So that's how they're doing it. They're doing it per season for different tournaments and stuff. So Evo and all that lot. Forza Horizon 3 was shown off. We have to mention it. We do have to mention that it's there. I thought when they were showing off the trailer, I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" Oh, it's cars.
Oh, yeah.
At least this time they didn't have a fucking Ford GT descending from the top of the fucking theater onto the platform. It's like, look at this car. They didn't have that this time, thank fuck.
Yeah, they kind of just showplayed gameplay.
They just like, oh look,
Showcase.
People on PC, people on Xbox One, people on the Xbox One S, playing Forza together. That's kind of cool. I don't care, because I probably won't get it. I mean, I like cars. I like playing driving games. They're kind of fun. I like driving in GTA. I do like driving games, but a dedicated driving game, I'd rather have a game that's open world, that you can have a car in it, that drives like a proper car, that drives like a Forza car, but has everything else of another game that I can kind of attach myself onto. So it was kind of annoying that the trailer looked really nice and then cars appeared, but that's just a kind of a personal grievance. Moving on, because just kind of trying to get onto the other kind of games things, we had Recore. Most people, I think a lot of people, I think when we were watching it, you guys weren't too sure about what Recore was.
I can't remember what it is now. I can't recall.
Recore was shown off last year, I want to say, and it's coming out from the guy who made Mega Man, Kenji Inafune. And it, well, at least in the trailer, had like a girl, and she had like a robot dog.
Oh, it was the robots one.
With the orb, and then the robot dog sacrificed himself, and she put the orb into the other robot, and it transferred its consciousness into the other robot, that kind of thing.
Looks cool and fun.
And had a grappling hook in it. Had a grappling hook, and you lost your shit about that, Albert, at least. Straws, what did you think of that? Of the Recore?
It looked cute, and I want to try it.
I'm hoping, the thing is, again, no release date. There was a lot of lack of release dates for some things.
It would be nice to have like some window, like 2017 holiday or something.
Yeah, just anything related to it.
Yeah, a little bit hinting when.
But again, that looked really cool. It's just showing off some minor gameplay stuff in the trailer, or at least what gameplay would look like. I'm not, again, the term gameplay during E3 week is very broad. Whether it's in-game footage that's rendered or actual gameplay that people have been able to play, we'll have to wait until some of the press people who are at the event are able to play it there, because I think they said something about it being playable. Being able to play it and saying, right, here's from the trailer, here's the actual game, this is what is true and what is just pre-rendered, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
One thing that, I mean, the next dope thing was Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Straws jizzed hard.
Yes.
So, I'd like to at least go around the metaphorical table and ask what do people think of at least from the gameplay, because it looked like actual gameplay. Emmy, did you actually watch this? Did you jump in at this part for the Final Fantasy?
Just about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you wanna start, or do you wanna start with someone else?
Start with someone else.
Let's go with Straws. Straws, what do you think?
It looks awesome. It looks perfect.
Perfect, you say?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
it's been making since 2006, so
Yeah.
it's about the time to show like something cool. And it actually got the release date. It wasn't this year.
It was September 30th, 2016.
Yeah, exactly. So it's awesome. Can't wait.
Albert, what did you think of it?
I mean, like back in the day when they changed Final Fantasy to play not as its traditional turn-based thing, I was a bit miffed and a bit weirded out by it. Although I've never been a huge fan of Final Fantasy, but
yeah,
this looks fucking cool. I don't know. I mean, Final Fantasy's always been sort of had a neat universe, but I've never enjoyed playing Final Fantasy. It's always such a drudge.
Yeah.
To play.
But would you play this? Do you think
if I
you'd
had
play
an Xbox, yeah, I'd fucking.
It's coming out on. It will be coming out on PS4 as well, and maybe I don't know if it might come out on PC.
I need to listen to more people's opinions of it, but yeah, it looked fun.
It did
look like a fun big smack monsters.
What I liked, I mean, like going off of that, one of the nice things is that the gameplay they actually showed off was actual gameplay, because the guy who was playing it was getting dicked on by the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I gotta give him props for that. It's like, this is okay. He's actually fucking it up on stage.
Yeah, it was nice to not see it just kind of like pre-recorded, like a perfect run type thing.
Yeah.
Like cringy Minecraft.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll look at the Minecraft. No, but this was like, oh shit, this might actually fuck up because I'm dying on stage. Shit.
Yeah.
Someone fix the AI really quickly, and someone's just like fast coding in the background fixing it. So, Emmy, I know you jumped in a bit late on the conference, so I'd like to know at least you did see a little bit of this, so I'd like to know your opinions.
I mean, I've never been a Final Fantasy I've not played any of the games. Don't really know much about them at all. But like general feel from it, it did look good, and I probably it was one of those games that looking at it, I'd probably enjoy playing it. I'm not so sure I'd buy it.
Yeah.
But I'd probably be like, if I went around someone's house and they had it or whatever, it'd be like, oh yeah, maybe I'd try it. But
so
it looked like a good game.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's appealing to people who haven't played Final Fantasy before.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, I played Final Fantasy. I played a lot of them. I didn't play 13 at all. Actually, I played a little bit. I pre-ordered it actually. Played it for a little bit. Gave up because I just thought it was terrible. Then 13-2, and then 13 Lightning Returns bullshit. And then this was supposed to be Versus 13. I'm like, oh god, I don't have much hope. Then it became Final Fantasy 15. And then we've been seeing more and more and more, and it looks fantastic. And the fact that it's coming out very soon, it's currently June. It's coming out in September. So we can only prepare ourselves for what's going to be a big slog through grindy areas and playing an RPG. What the fuck?
Yeah, what is going on?
Is there a party going on in your flat area?
Sorry, yeah, I was gonna try and mute just to try and drown it out. One of my flatmates just decided to go running, screaming down the hall. So
I see.
Alright, fun.
That's what happens at uni.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Again, it looked really cool. I'm glad it's coming out this year. I do agree with you, Straws. It looked fucking badass.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what comes out from the conference over the next couple days, because hopefully some new gameplay will drop. And I think a dedicated gameplay trailer should be released as well.
Yeah, on Sony's one.
So yeah, Sony will be going off about it. They said like, oh yeah, it's on Xbox, but the thing is, Sony has been the one backing up Final Fantasy 15 for years, literal years. Especially because their little demo, I don't think it came out on Xbox, the Platinum demo. I think that only came out on PS4. So we'll see what happens from that. Moving on, there was something about The Division. The first major expansion has been shown off. I know you guys don't really care for The Division. I actually played it. It's a bit late, to be honest, because the two update patches that they brought out weren't that great, and they did break a few things. But a lot of people, apparently 98% of players have stopped playing, which is a huge metric. It's like 98% or 95, one of the two, but that's a huge metric to just die. So I'm hoping that at least this big expansion might bring people back. We'll see what happens. They only showed off like a trailer. They didn't show off any information about it. And that's coming out next month. So we'll see what happens from the developers. Battlefield 1 was shown off again. And there was pretty much the same that we've already seen. I mean, if you want to check out our impressions on that, check out the E3, the EA post conference thing, which will be right there. So go check that out. Check out that link. I'll put the little annotation here. And then it will just send you that video, and you can have a look about what we thought about Battlefield. One thing that they did talk about, the next thing, was the clubs looking for group and the arena stuff. It seems at least now they're doing very community-based things. So PS4's had communities for at least a couple months now, which was you just join a group, and it's like a social board, similar to like a subreddit that anyone can just kind of post on, and you kind of meet new players. Xbox are now doing it with clubs. Looking for groups now a thing, which I'm kind of curious that that's going to be abused quite severely, because they said, oh, you post a want ad for players that you want to come into your game. For example, need a group for a division incursion or grinding another thing. Post it there. But I have a feeling that might be abused slightly, because I think it was me who actually said it. It was just like looking for girl to send nudes plots on Minecraft. looking for girlfriend, that kind of thing. Like, that's gonna get abused hard. It's nice that they've added it, but I think it's gonna fail. So, the one thing that did catch my eye though was the arenas. The fact that it seems EA have started doing it. They were saying about they're pushing the esports side of it. Xbox are now also pushing the esports side of it, with tournaments going on, organized by them, organized by players, by companies, that kind of thing. And it's kind of nice that esports is, because esports is a huge thing, that it's getting the recognition it deserves. And now the companies are like, actually, yes, we can make some money off of it, but it also allows, it's an advertising thing. An esports tournament is an advertising thing in its core sense. but being natively supported on the Xbox is, I don't know, I like it. I like that as an idea. I'm hoping it can go well, because you've got like Gears is played competitively, Halo's obviously played competitively. Battlefield supposedly getting it. EA has mixed in with that FIFA and all that bullshit. But the fact, I mean, anyone can jump in on an opinion. I'd love to know if anyone had an opinion on this, because it is just, they are bringing esports into the forefront. They're bringing it, so it's like, we are proud to have this kind of thing. So I'd love to know people's opinions on at least the more social aspects that they were showing off. Or is people just kind of meh on that?
Are we still talking about Minecraft? Sorry.
No, this is just the social things.
Like the group, like, are
Excuse
you
me.
meaning like going back to like the groups and everything?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah. Social
Well,
networking is
I
good
mean,
for
like,
video
if you want to find like a experienced group of players to kind of play a game, I mean, if they've got some kind of test for that, you know, like you've got to be level such and such, and otherwise, I don't know whether people would just be, oh, I'll just try and hop in on these guys, and you might just find it frustrating on that way.
I can understand that. I know Destiny, because it didn't have native matchmaking for raids, that a website was set up called Destiny Looking for Group. That you put your name, your character's name, your level, what class you were, what raid you were trying to do, and how much knowledge you had on that event. And you can like, people can invite you. You can join, like, request. Like, you basically find a posting and say, I can do this, I have blah 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 blah, blah, I fill this criteria,
Yeah.
and so on. But now being able to do that natively within the console, I think is kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can see the benefit, especially to people who don't have a group of people that they play games with.
Yeah.
You know, so for, you know, because you're missing out on, for some games, you'll be missing out on a huge part if you don't do the co-op elements to it. So it'd be great for that, but I can see it, again, being abused for all the reasons that you brought up with, like, you know,
If anything,
girlfriend, please.
Yeah, girlfriend blocks. The thing is, if anyone's got a social aspect thing, it's gonna be abused somehow.
That's what happens when people talk to each other. Abuse.
The internet
You
is
get
a horrible
idiots.
place.
Yeah.
The whole, like, oh, Facebook, oh, let's add this new thing, and look what's
Yeah.
Yeah, disregarding
everyone-
the
everyone's
obvious
messed it up.
limitations of humans fucking suck.
humans are
yeah.
dicks.
It's good. Fucking play games with
You
more
give
people.
us a toy, we will break it.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Oh, we've discovered this new technology. Oh, look, we're making robots now. Let's break them.
Yeah.
Let's add penis robots and beat
Yeah,
the shit out
upside
of
of
them.
it is nice though. I mean, gaming communities is great.
Mm.
I mean, if you play a game or something and you meet a bunch of people on there who are really good and you played well and you had a civil discussion in chat,
Mm.
and yeah, why not still hook up
That
and
was
play
pretty
more
much
games?
like, that summary is pretty much what that's what I went through when I first had Xbox 360, and I
Yeah.
met friends on there, and I met a lot of friends on there. A couple of them, again, I know in real life, and they actually go to my uni.
Wow.
So, and with you guys, I've never met you face to face, but we just play around, we play video games, and we have a good time.
Yeah.
So communities and things can grow out of that.
Well, I think on
So-
some things, I mean, like on Steam this is, but like when I've played games before and ended up playing co-op with some random person, yeah, there's the kind of like, oh, you can join stuff, but it's like, yeah, I don't know who they are, but playing more games would be more interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can kind of organize it better.
It's also kind of,
guess
again,
it's
it's the
beneficial.
awkwardness aspect. Like, you go into a game, you don't know who you're playing with, you kind of want to talk to them, but you're really not sure.
Yeah, you've
It's
played
getting
like
really
5
awkward.
games together now.
Yeah,
You're
and
doing
then you're
quite
like-
well together.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, that's, again, it's always the first meeting's always going to be weird, and then you kind of expand on that. So, it's nice that they're trying to push on that aspect, because the Xbox One originally at launch did not have very good social support, and now
Yeah.
they seem to be doing a really big turnaround with that, so can't go wrong. Right, custom controllers look cool.
Yes.
We found out the pricing for those. The Verge was the one who broke the news on that. They were pretty much, you can customize the buttons, the thumbsticks, the colors. You can have an engraving on it. They won't start shipping until October, but you can start designing your own, and there'll be the link in the description below. Let's see. The controllers will cost $79.99 US, plus an extra $9.99 US to have an engraving. And you can have your gamer tag, you can have anything,
Boobs.
any sort of word or anything. But I'm assuming there'll be like a certain
We hand
limit.
press on the.
Like, for
Grips.
example, one of the ones they showed off here is they had scheming troll engraved on the controller. So, you know, that's a thing. But the controllers look really cool. That's going to be about 60 quid UK and an extra tenner, so it's about the same price as the controller now. Most of the controllers now are about 60 quid. Yes, that's a quite steep price, but this is why for example, Game and other shops will have insurance. Like you pay an extra $5, covers the controller for 2 years, and if you break it, just bring it back and we'll give you a new one. So, you know, there are companies who say, right, you can insure this, that kind of thing. So, you know, they look pretty cool. I like the look of them. I'll probably end up getting one. I like having custom controllers. It can also be a nice gift, you know?
I really want one,
Yeah,
and I don't have.
Well, the thing is that they will work with a Windows 10 PC. So,
Yeah.
for example, your boyfriend could say, well, actually, you got a 360 controller. I'm gonna buy you this for your birthday.
Man, that would make me so happy.
Get a nice engraving on it. Just
Yeah.
like Dick.
No, I would be really happy with one of those controllers.
Yeah.
Just to
have.
Yeah.
Like a nice different color controller is pretty cool. Considering the only other controllers for the Xbox One you can get were the console-specific ones, for example, the Halo ones. There was Halo-specific ones when Halo 5 came out, and you can get the white and gold, or the Elite controller, but that's 125 quid, and that's a very specific market. So, you know, it's up to you what happens with that. Then we had the ID at Xbox spiel, the show reel for all the indie games. No release dates on any of them. Cuphead didn't get a release date again, so that pissed me off. But again, with Cuphead, they recently came out and said, oh, yeah, we're adding it basically so it's like an adventure game as well, not just a boss crawler. So like, okay, right, you might have to add a few months on the development time, but I'd love to hear about something about that soon. Something that came out of the ID thing was kind of annoying. I mean, Albert, you seem pissed off about this, about Gwent getting its own full game.
Oh yeah, no, it's not that I'm pissed off about it. Yeah, that's fine that it has its own full game. Card game's great, but who fucking cares?
I think they shouldn't have had it. I don't think they should have had it in the indie development thing, because CD Projekt Red are a huge company with their own publishing house.
And it didn't.
They're not indie. They are not indie by any stretch of the line.
It didn't have to be in E3 either. Like, that's not really a big release. It's kind of something they could just throw out anytime they wanted. And like you said, they have a big advertising monies.
I mean, they have their own distribution platform. Good old games. They have that.
There's no reason to fill up a slot with E3 on a fucking card game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that could have been. I mean, I think you said it correctly. It could have been put on an indie game that deserved a bit of recognition. You know, they had one for
Cuphead.
like Cuphead. It could have been Cuphead, but it wasn't. It's bullshit. It did annoy me a little bit. I mean, I played The Witcher 3 very recently. I do like Gwent. It is quite fun. But I do agree with you. I don't think it deserved its own slot. It could have just been a trailer, a very short trailer saying this is happening, and then done.
Yeah, they could have what was that other game with the robots they didn't dedicate much time to?
Recall?
Recreate?
Yeah, Recall.
Recall, they didn't dedicate that much time to whatsoever.
And they could have taken the time for that and just gone, but there you go, you get the time we spent on stupid card games, and then just kind of thrown in at some point during the compilation of other games being released. Oh, a card game of The Witcher.
Yeah, it felt a bit out of place.
Yeah, it doesn't really deserve that much spotlight. Because I don't know, it's just me being biased, but how many people really care that much about the card game in The Witcher?
Quite a lot.
Okay.
There is a surprising amount of people who really like the game.
Normies.
I mean, you know, I can understand why. Mainly because of the fact it's digital only, and it's just like a little feature that they just kind of added in and then blew up. But you can never really be surprised at what blows up on the internet. Something just getting really, really popular for no reason whatsoever just happens. So,
yeah, true.
Right. We may as well move on from that. Tekken 7 with Akuma. I thought it was Tekken Cross Street Fighter because that still hadn't come out, I think. but that looked kind of cool. That it went from a cutscene directly into gameplay with no loading screen. That was pretty cool. But the guy on stage presenting it was fucking mental. Just in his kimono and just be like,
oh yeah,
all
that
traditional
yeah.
and shit.
that
I
was
was like, what the
interesting.
fuck was that?
They picked the two fucking weirdest guys they had to do the presentation.
It was kind
Honestly,
of
no offense to the guys, but God, they did look fucking weird.
And like the Twitch chat being as racist as it is, kind of blew up at that point.
Yeah.
I apologize for like steamrolling it a little bit. There wasn't that much shown off about it. They said there's going to be more going on over the E3, but this is just from the conference.
Yeah.
So
The gameplay looked crunchy. I mean, fighting. I don't
It's a
know.
fighting game.
I haven't seen anything particularly revolutionary for fighting games since Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Really. So I mean,
Nice.
fucking rip.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, good new fighting game.
Yeah.
Fine. I hope it does well and gets a good community with lots of tourneys. Because fighting games are cool.
Tekken usually does. Tekken has a big following at Evo, so
Yeah.
that's all that really matters. Is if it gets recognition at Evo, then it's fine. It will be fine.
It looked like crisp and crunchy and fun to play. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Dead Rising 4. We've had some leaks about this already. There was like a picture that was released before the leak saying that Dead Rising 4 was the thing,
Yeah.
and no one really knows like who's the guy on the cover. It is Frank West. He's covered Wars and he's back
He
again.
has covered Wars, you know.
He has covered Wars, so he's back again and he's leading it, and it looks like they've got a release date. It's coming out holiday 2016, so near Christmas, and the game is Christmas themed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
the
Fucking-
Christmas gimmick. That
Fucking
was,
candy cane crossbows and
Yeah.
It's not my kind of game, but I did appreciate the detail to making it Christmas themed.
Dead Rising is actually a lot of fun because it's an open world. You're just fucking about killing zombies, and it's fun. Dead Rising 3 went off the mark because they tried to make it slightly serious. Dead Rising 4, they've gone back to the silly. They've gone back to the silly, and that's what everyone wanted. And they brought back the main character from the first one. He's an icon for the series, especially for Capcom as well. He is an icon because the fact that he's got a slot in Project Cross Zone and in Marvel vs. Capcom as well. The fact he's got his own slot in that shows that he's declared an icon. And he's coming back, and the game looks fun. It just looks like bonkers, killing lots of zombies, making retarded weapons, doing that kind of thing. So I'd love to see what comes out from that. But, Emmy, so you wouldn't necessarily play that, would you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Aye.
Can I ask your reasons for that, or?
I think
Very personally deep-seated reasons about not playing zombie games.
like let's go deep here.
I was
right?
abused by Frank West when I was younger. That kind of thing.
Yeah, he kept
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
upskirt
yeah.
shots.
Nah, I mean,
Fantastic.
Fair.
I mean,
Sexy.
Sexy, 1,000 points.
oh man, no, I mean, this is kind of me taking it from a very I've just seen that. Probably not my thing
Yeah,
because
that's
I've not played any of the previous games.
Yeah.
But I enjoy games that have very heavy plot, and just going around and fucking up zombies. Kind of it'd be fun for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, there is a
but,
plot,
like-
but again, if it's not enough to grab you,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
there's no point.
Like, I mean, it's like one of those games that I might enjoy for briefly, but I wouldn't bother buying it because I wouldn't kind of.
Get sunk in. Hence why
Yeah.
you've got so many hours on Fallout 4.
Yeah, where I can go and do all the different tasks for various
Yeah.
people and backstories and
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's like Dead Rising is usually like the Fallout Light in a sense. Because
Yeah.
there
I
is
mean,
like
because
there is
Fallout,
the story.
there's a lot of just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go kill these ghouls and kill these people, then go get these super mutants.
Oh, look
so
at
it's a lot of
Quest,
that.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
like things pop up.
and you can go and not do the quests and just go fuck everyone up. But I play very much kind of like, right, I'm gonna go do this for these people now,
Yeah.
and I like there to be a reason why I'm
Doing
kind of-
what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Dead Rising series in the past, it's been the case is you need to try and fit. With Dead Rising 1 and 2, it was trying to figure out why this zombie outbreak has happened, who's actually behind it. For example, Dead Rising 1, the whole point is that you're in this mall trying to find out who started the zombie outbreak, who can be held accountable, and trying to escape. and trying to save everyone as many people as you can, dealing with the people who've been affected, the psychopaths who've gone insane because of this fact, that kind of thing. Dead Rising 2 played off of that again more, and it added the thing that you needed to protect your daughter by giving her Zombrex so she didn't die.
Yeah.
And then Dead Rising 3 kind of went off the mark, and then Dead Rising 4 probably more of the same.
Yeah.
So again, it's the Fallout
mean-
light, but again, if you can't really get into that kind of thing, then
But I
there's
mean,
no point.
that's also looking from that trailer, which wasn't. I mean, it's a trailer kind of for the game, and it seemed like one of those trailers where they kind of assumed that you know the kind of
Yeah.
game it is, and it's like, oh look, there's a new one.
Yeah.
So being someone that I don't really know, it's like, I don't really want to spend hours just blasting zombies, but you know.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's completely understandable. Any other comments from Straws and Alb about Dead Rising?
Looks fun.
It looked pretty fun.
I like the Christmas.
The much Christmas.
Would play at Christmas. Not particularly high hopes because I mean Dead Rising has never been
Annual event, play it only at Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, you could only play. I mean, it's I do like the series. I played the first one and then I played the second one on when it went mulled out out.
How long did you play Dead Rising for though?
Quite a while
Ye-
because there are like different endings. There's
Okay.
different ways you can do the story. I mean, there's also the side quests who you can encounter, because there's always the main storyline and then there's little branches that come off of that. For example, you're doing this thing, it cuts to about this kind of time, you get a phone call saying, oh, there's these guys who are pinned down in a grocery store and they're being shot at.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
don't you go have a look? That kind of thing. And then tidbits of story elsewhere, but it's not like there's this huge storyline backstory between these people. It's pretty obvious why they are who they are, like why they're like this. So I mean, there is things like that, and I'd happily replay it. I've replayed it a couple times just because I can. It's just a fun game to go back to. But again, if it's not one of those things that can really grab on the story's never been strong. But you know, oh, this guy's got C4 because reasons. He's a terrorist. Get him. Like that was one of the parts of the first game. But you know, it looks fun. I'll probably play the shit out of it, knowing me. We may as well move on to Scalebound, which is coming out from Platinum Games. They're the guys who make Bayonetta, Virtual Joe, Hideki Kamiya's leading up the project. So again, Wonderful 101, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. You get a huge fuck off dragon. It was shown off 2 years ago, I think, and they've actually shown off a bit more gameplay, and they've given them the release date 2017. I'd love to know people's opinions on this.
Never actually touched the series. Looks alright.
Well, Scalebound is
I never touched on Scalebound. I mean, I love Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That was fun as absolute fuck. Beautiful Joe was also really nice, but this isn't either of those games. So.
It does look very different, but you get a huge fuck off dragon. So
yeah, fun,
I've got some hope for it because it is a Platinum game. Platinum games are always silly, but it looks like this is going to be the huge, big budget one we've been waiting for. Because Bayonetta 2 didn't really have much of a budget, Metal Gear Rising didn't have much of a budget, but they still made really good games. Imagine what they did on a huge budget. I'd like to see what comes out of it. I mean, the boss fight was huge. It was bonkers. Oh, my camera's gone. There we go. What kind of happened with the combat though? It seemed a little meh. For example, the main reason I bring that up is that the bow that the guy had in the trailer or in the gameplay, it was diddy. It was just like, against this giant, huge fuck
boring.
off. Exactly.
You had the chance to like fly a dragon and shoot fireballs, and then suddenly he jumps down and
gets
starts
a bow
shooting
and arrow.
with his
Yeah,
lame
it's like
bow.
what the fuck?
And especially on their playthrough, there was a lot of just him just shooting the bow and arrow.
So, oh, look,
Yeah.
you got a bow,
Dragons
guys. Show me the dragons. Show the dragons.
So
I want to get the
boring.
dragon. One of the main, I think, at least the gameplay thing that they showed off did show the 4-player co-op, because it will be 4-player co-op for the entire story. And so I thought that was kind of cool, and each person will get their own dragon and their own character. And I'm assuming there's different loot. I'm assuming because it looks very RPG-ish, considering there was damage numbers. I'd like to see what comes out of that, but again, it's not coming out till next year. No specified date next year, but it did say 2017. So we'll see what happens. It's one of those things that's going to kind of come out over the conference, and in the later months. I mean, Gamescom's coming up in the next few months as well. We'll see what comes out there because they'll also have a presentation. I mean, the main thing we were all kind of really hooked on was Sea of Thieves.
Oh,
That was shown
definitely,
off.
yeah.
That
Sea
looked
of Thieves
fucking
looks
dope.
fucking
I
dope.
really want to
Yeah.
go Sea of Thieves and make my own crew and just...
Go in a
Yeah,
pirate ship and
same.
go dick on everyone. So for people who
Yeah.
don't know, Sea of Thieves was shown off last year at E3, and it's coming out from Rare. So it's not an Avatar game this time. It's an actual game, not a sports game, which you join. It's like a co-op pirate open world thing, similar to kind of like the way that he was describing it. It was like there's always the threat of other players, and like that's very DayZ-ish. It's like DayZ but pirates made by Rare, and you have your own crew and you have your own pirate ship. And there was like the pirate ships actually get damaged, and you actually have to repair the pirate ships. And there was like that kind of combat, and it looked pretty cool. I mean, I love to know
Guns of
you.
Icarus.
Yeah, I
and
love
getting
to.
really drunk and...
Yeah, like you could get fucking
Oh yeah,
wasted
that
on
was
mead.
cool.
That looked really cool.
Like,
I'd
I like
happily
that
play
kind
this.
of gives you a bit more, like, leniency, and like, oh yeah, we can go, like, mess around with these
Yeah,
people,
you
and then
can
we'll just
kinda-
go get
you can
drunk
just go
and,
and be
like, run
run-of-the-mill
about.
on an island.
Kind of like, oh, we're pirates and we could have, like, a drunken race to
Yeah,
the boat or something.
It looks like a really fun group fucking role-playing pirate adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, knowing
absolutely
us,
down for.
considering we usually try and play games together, I play the fuck out of that game.
Yeah,
If we all
Yeah,
got that
totally.
game, I can see us, like, racking up hours of
that would
gameplay
be-
on that
yeah,
game.
some seriously fun
Also,
shit.
when the ship took damage and it started like leaking, that was
Yeah,
so
that looked
cool.
really
Sinking
cool.
the ship.
Yeah,
I
and
can
Yeah.
imagine getting, like, attached to a ship and be like, no!
Yeah,
We're
well,
sinking!
We spent so
Ah.
No,
many
but the thing
hours
is,
on
no, but
that.
the thing is, we'll say right. Someone needs to be on this. Someone needs to focus on this. Oh, hang on. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing your job? Go do your job. Fuck you. I'm doing my own job.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
what the
sounds
shit.
very intense.
Just
Yeah,
chaos
yeah.
will ensue.
Kind
And-
of like, right, now, no, you're gonna have to walk the plank for that. Get off the ship. Like,
Piss off. Oh, can I come back in the boat now? Have you learned your
God,
lesson?
if we can make people walk the plank.
I think you can. Judging from the
Jesus.
fact you would just have a plank, I don't
Mm.
think it's not like a dedicated action interaction
Well, there
that
was
you
a
make them
plank
walk
on
the
the
plank.
trailer.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not. I don't think
shit.
it's a dedicated thing of here is
Like-
the cinematic
No,
of
I
walking
mean,
the
you
plank.
could,
Oh,
you
no.
could
just
do
tell
it
them to
in-
you
piss
could
off.
do it. Just be like, no,
Well,
off the
Like,
plank.
no,
there
Go
was
on,
off the
plank
plank.
it.
shoot you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were sharks too.
There were
Having a
sharks.
mutiny.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there were
Yeah,
mer
sharks.
people. There were mer people in the trailer.
Oh yeah, there was also
So-
a skeleton pirate.
Skelly.
Oh,
There was a
yeah.
Skelly pirate. Albert,
maybe
you must have
those
been
are
very
in
excited
caves
for the
on
Skelly
the
pirate.
island.
Very spooked.
Yeah, I mean, you had like a little hub thing on the island where you docked your ship. So if you get an
Yeah.
island and a ship,
Oh god, yeah, if you can get your
That'll be
own
fucking
pirate
great.
fortress, yeah, if they
I
And,
would
like
do
your own
assume-
something
I would
houses
assume
on
you
your
would.
pirate island.
like I'm
That'd be
assuming there'll be
cool.
like neutral ones or like maybe player-run communities with it on that
Yeah.
island saying, "Oh, we're just traders."
like
it's an
player-run
open port,
communities
yeah.
and large-scale
Yeah.
customization is really gonna make that like something else.
That is what a lot of design survival games try to emulate.
Yeah.
Like one of the things when H1Z1 was coming, I was like, "Oh, we want to make sure we have communities being built."
yeah.
Like you have whole towns being built by players. That never happens. That never happens. That is like literally impossible because the people on those kind of games just don't do it. I think like just having here's a block of land. Do it. Make it your own. Because
But I
the
think
thing
especially
is,
as like, you know, you're being you're going to be in a group anyway trying to sort out
yeah,
your thing. You're going to automatically delegate
Actually-
tasks and stuff.
yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's an interesting time to bring up the social networking thing they're trying to do with
Oh, true.
Microsoft. If they
Yeah.
can pull that off successfully and it integrates well with this game, imagine having a community of something like 40 or 100 players all under one pirate crew.
Yeah, like a guild.
You
like a
have
pirate
several
guild.
sort of large factions warlording over the seas.
That would be fucking
Yeah.
dope.
Especially with customizable ships and islands as well, it would be really, really jizz in my pants material.
Well,
yeah, like
Eve
I'd play
Online.
the fuck out. Like yeah, kind of
Mm.
like Eve, but not spreadsheety.
Would go absolutely berserk for.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
there are games that do emulate that. I mean, a friend of mine plays Worm Online, and that's very land grabby and like resource management, that kind of thing. So if that was able to come across into this game, being very pirate themed, you could make your own like Tortuga
Yeah,
with your friends. I'd be all over that. And they
that
did
would
say
be so amazing.
it was a Windows 10 and Xbox exclusive. No release date on it though, but I can only hope that we'll hear something from Gamescom. Maybe we'll see a bit more. They showed off a tiny bit of gameplay from just people playing the game. I guess I don't know whether that's like pre-scripted or anything, but
No, they
it's
claimed
probably
they went
looked
into
like
it live,
it,
or
it-
went into it
they
blind,
said
so...
it was it looked very chopped up to me. But
Yeah,
I
it
think
did a
that's
bit.
to fit the time slot they
They,
had.
they probably just did like a little best of some people playing it blind. I'd be willing
Yeah.
to take that at face value.
Yeah, I could say I
Yeah.
could probably take that as face value. I mean,
There's only
they
so
seem
much
quite
you can
honest.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens at Gamescom because there'll probably be more over there. Right. State of Decay 2. You guys probably didn't play much of the first State of Decay. I loved State of Decay 1. Fucking loved that game to pieces. It had loads and loads of good ideas and what you would want from a zombie game. You want to be able to build a community, go out, collect resources, food, build things up, get vehicles, drive the vehicles, kill all the zombies, that kind of thing. You're trying to
Yeah.
survive.
I feel like we could say, considering they were focusing on multiplayer as well, I feel like we could say the same thing about it that we just did about
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, only I'm not quite so hyped because pirates over zombies, personally.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
mean, State of Decay will be a very smaller thing. It won't be an open world. It'd be people joining a co-op type game, I would think.
It could still be fun.
It would still be probably fun. Yeah, I could see that being a lot of fun. I mean, I'll be looking forward to it.
You could sink hours into that. I mean, the first one was supposed to be... I personally had never played it, but my friend did play it pretty much constantly for a good while.
Yeah.
So
And I
it's
mean,
gotta
like
be some-
people who are
yeah.
fans of the first game will just be right home. Plus, the fact is like, oh yeah, it's all co-op. It's all focusing on co-op. Good. I want to be able to play that kind of thing with my friends.
Hmm.
Again, there's not really much to say on that, to be honest. It's got release date of 2017. We'll just have to wait. We had let's see, it was Halo Wars 2 shown off. I have high hopes for it because I loved Halo Wars 1. Love to see what's going on. That's got the release date of 21st of February 2017. I mean, you guys didn't seem very fussed about it from the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna meh.
I've not played Halo Wars personally, and I mean, the gameplay footage they showed looked shiny and nice. Looked like the combat was good, but they didn't show anything off of the UI or anything like that, how
Yeah.
the mechanics of the game will work.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to form an opinion on
Yeah.
it.
That kind of thing, I think, will be a while until we actually hear anything from that. Again, they've just said, oh, his release date, here's a couple things. Let's have, probably at Gamescom, that has, here is dedicated amount of time. This is what Halo Wars will look like. It's like, that is pretty much just this is what to expect, shined up. Here's what you're actually going to play. So, we'll see what happens from that. And then the last thing, to round it all off, was Project Scorpio. Now, we've been hearing some rumors for a while, actually, that the PS4 and the Xbox One will have dedicated, upgraded consoles, which it supported 4K and supported other things. Project Scorpio was announced to saying that this will have, it was like 6 teraflops worth of graphic processing power. Teraflops is the technical term. It's like,
Is it actually? Oh,
yeah, it's a very technical term. It's
Never heard teraflops before.
it's like basically processing speed and graphics, that kind of thing.
Okay,
That's what a
yeah.
teraflop usually represents.
So
High quality pixels.
points of
Yeah.
operations per second.
So the fact that like something that kind of fast and it supported 4K video, which is again that's kind of big because that's kind of the norm now is 4K. The fact that it said holiday 2017, they didn't show off what the console looked like, obviously, but they've just said 2017. This is coming out, and we knew that something was coming, but I think most people were like, oh, it's the S, right? It's the Xbox One S. That's all that stuff. It's not like it's not like the 4.5 PlayStation Neo, that kind of thing. But no, it's like no, this is the next upgrade. This is the next version of this console. And that's all they said. They're just like, it's coming out. We'll have more to show later on. Was there any need to really do such a tease like that? Like, because they said the reason that the reason that they're announcing it now is so that developers can have a good amount of time with it. They get a good year and a half with it, which I can respect that from as a developer from a developing standpoint. I can give them respect, but if they wanted something to really come out of it, unless it's like what will probably happen, it'll be all the games coming out next year will have slightly shiny versions they'll run slightly better on the Scorpio. They'll basically just be Scorpio will be released. His shit tons of patches to fix it, to like make it run better. So I know. I'd love to know your opinions on it though. Like an upgrade console, that kind of thing.
Wait, you can upgrade it?
Oh no, it will be an upgraded version of the console.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to buy an Xbox anyway, pretty much full stop, and the S is the only thing that really sways me into doing it a little bit because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Unless a million really good exclusives.
Yeah. I mean, some of the exclusives that were shown off did look good, but again, if there's no reason for you to buy the console, there's no reason for you to buy the console.
Yeah.
Straws, because you were saying about the Xbox One, the Project Scorpio as well. I'd love to know your opinions.
Well, in the other hand, like, it's kind of a middle finger
How so?
to the consumers. But on the other hand, it's great that they revealed it now because a new PlayStation 1 is coming and Nintendo's new console. So it's like making them to be the big boss at this moment.
Yeah.
And giving them they're getting more of the hype and giving like a little bit pressure for the PlayStation and the Nintendo to release theirs.
That kind of has been Microsoft's thing for a while though, to deliver their next gen stuff first.
Yeah.
And they haven't had the best track record with that.
Well,
actually, no, in saying that, the PS3 did really badly on launch.
The PS3 did really badly on launch. I mean, I had one on launch. The Xbox One did really badly on launch. But they're turning it around. The fact that they are just trying to turn it around and give people more and more reasons to play it, and just make it better. Because they were like, oh look, it's this new multimedia thing. No, it's a gaming console. Look, no, we're really sorry. This is now a gaming console. Here are the games. Let's do it right this time. And I think the main reason they got that is because Phil Spencer is leading it, and he is trying to get the games out to people. I think it's being well run, hence why they're trying to turn everything around. So, like I have high hopes, but again, it's one of those things that with E3, you can't see that much now, unless it's coming out within the next 6 months, maybe 8 months, and then after that, it'll probably be Gamescom or closer to the next E3. Here's what everything's going to be. So. Any final comments on the conference itself?
Pirates hype.
Pirates hype.
Definitely pirate hype.
We happy few hype.
So it's Final Fantasy and pirate hype.
Oh, and the customizable controllers, definitely.
Yeah,
just
those pretty
nice.
Those look nice.
The survival game, the We Happy Few.
Yeah, We Happy Few look pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hype for that.
Completely forgot about that. But I mean, if you want to see gameplay of that, there's already gameplay that exists. People like Markiplier, PewDiePie, lots of people like that did play an early version of that game, a very early build of that game. But that's coming out into early access next month on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see a bit more about that then. So yeah, Pirates hype, new console, new smaller version of the Xbox One.
And if it works, like it could bring quite a lot to some of the games that we've been chatting about being really hyped for. It could bring great stuff, but if it doesn't work out, then
again, it could either it's a sink or swim at this point. And at least they're not like, okay, it's not a buffer year. There's actually shit coming out. Like, because I said about EA's was very much a buffer. It was just like, oh, these are all these things, and it wasn't that exciting. Bethesda, not really much like that because they announced quite a few things, and like here are things that are actually coming out. Xbox, trying to keep the tradition of this is a conference. We're trying to do the conference as best we can. Here are the games. So I think that they're starting to do it right, and I think it's given them great benefit. So on top of that, if you want to watch us talk about the EA conference, make sure to check the link here. If you want to see any of the other E3 videos, check out the playlist, which will be The next conference is... What's the next conference? It's
like Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, is it?
Yes.
It's Ubisoft in about an hour. So we'll be watching that conference and then doing a summary of that as well. So thank you all very much for watching. I'd like to thank Albert, Emmy, and Straws for being on this round table with me. And
remember to like, comment, and
subscribe. As Albert's gonna do his demonic chant
I
thing.
need you to do it.
Need you to do it.
I
No,
need your likes and your comments and your subscribes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Comment in the
Everyone
description.
makes
Yeah.
us stronger.
Comment below because we can start the discussion and start doing the back and forth and get the community growing. Make sure to leave a big leak, just a big leak on the chat. Just big
On
big
the size
thumbs
of
up.
your arm.
Yeah, big thumbs up on the video. Just kind of keeps us everything going. And make sure to leave a subscribe for more content. And I'll see you all next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.
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 Bye bye.